You know, one of the many things that I love about the Nintendo Switch is that it offers me the opportunity to do things like play outside, get a little bit of sunlight, and get away from just being on a couch or at my desk or in my office or something like that. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome to the channel. Y'all look great today. Really appreciate you guys stopping by. Recently, the channel Nintendo Talk did a video about the 10 Nintendo Switch games he was addicted to, and yeah, that's kind of the way my brain works. I play a lot of games at the same time. I don't just play one thing at a time. I tend to kind of go scattershot, and I really enjoyed his video, so I wanted to do my take on it. So here we go. 10 games on the Nintendo Switch I'm addicted to. 5 from the eShop, and 5 you can pick up physically. One of the highlights of my year, honestly, was being able to go to Korg's and meet someone that I both admire as a YouTube creator and as a video game developer, and that was Nintendo. Because one of my favorite games of the last probably 10 years is his game, Carl. If you have not played Carl, Carl is the game that I obsessed over last year, that I thought was just one of the best action platformers I'd ever played. It's a little bit Super Paper Mario, it's a little bit Cave Story, but all its own thing. The beautiful thing about the game is that it blazes its own trail, and it's not afraid to be what it is. The heartwarming story, the beautiful visuals, the fantastic characterization, the hilarious writing, and the brilliant gameplay add up to be one of the best games that I have played in the last 10 years. It's legitimately one of my favorite titles on the Nintendo Switch, and something that I play constantly. I have gone back to this game numerous times. I have beaten it over and over and over again, and I continue to play it almost weekly. Carl is one of my favorite titles, a brilliant game, and something I have been addicted to since it released. When Square initially started releasing the Final Fantasy titles on the Nintendo Switch, I said nothing more than I wanted to get the originals released for me to be able to play them and have a nearly complete Final Fantasy experience on one console. And lo and behold, the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters that released this year are finally here, and I am able to play nearly every single Final Fantasy game on one console, and I love it. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy. It is one of my all-time favorite series, and I love that we got these beautiful remasters of classic games on the Nintendo Switch physically on one cartridge that, while yes, it was a little bit difficult to track down here in the States, if you did like I did and ordered it through PlayAsia, you got it eventually, like 4 months later, but it's such a wonderful collection, and all of the games play brilliantly well with some fantastic quality of life improvements that just really streamline the gaming experience. I'm loving this collection. I'm so happy to have it because it's just a magnificent series of titles, and come on, portable Final Fantasy VI, you can't go wrong. Easily one of my favorite racing games of the last 10 years, Slipstream does something remarkable by making it feel like a game that you have played a million times before while still being entirely its own thing. Visually, this game feels like an Outrun throwback, and that's really what it is. They lean into that belief. But this is an amazing title developed by one person that needs to be experienced to be believed, because the game has incredible physics, wonderful visuals, fantastic music, and a gorgeous gameplay system that just works. It's actually got a brand new update coming out that's going to be free that adds to the already incredible gameplay. Think about this. You have multiplayer, time rewinding as you play, different tracks to go through, 8 different cars, new accessibility options, and fantastic game modes like the Grand Tour, the Cannonball Run, single races, and time trials. The game is magnificent, is one of the best, most exciting racing games I have ever played, and it just sings on the Nintendo Switch. I love that I live in a world right now where like every single Mega Man game has been released, mostly, we'll get to that in a minute, by Capcom over the last few years. It all started with the Mega Man Legacy Collection Volume 1 and 2, which got us Mega Mans 1 through 10, and then we got Mega Man 11, and then we got the Mega Man X Collection and the ZX Collection, and now we have the Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, which collects Mega Man Battle Networks 1 through 6. Every version of them, and they play brilliantly well. The games look incredible on the big screen, and Capcom did some really good legwork here. One, we got a really fun menu option where Mega Man kind of talks to you as you move around. I also really like the different filter options and the screen sizes you're able to adjust to, but most importantly, the games hold up. They're just a ton of fun to play, and they work so well on the Switch, almost like they were tailor-made for the console. I've only played Mega Man Battle Network 3 Blue in the past, so this is a wonderful collection for me to have, and I'm really excited to get this and be able to play through all of them. And now, Capcom, now all we really need is the Mega Man Legacy Legends Collection. Give me all the Legends games and the Misadventures of Tron Bonne, and I will love you forever. It's legit so cool to me that I work with Capcom now, in a way. Not for Capcom, but I work with Capcom. And being a Capcom creator, I have access to their game releases, and Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is something that I think is very, very special on the Nintendo Switch, because it's legit one of the few games that takes advantage of the fact that it has a touchscreen. So you can play this with a controller on a television, or you can grab this and go outside like I was at the start of this video and use the touchscreen controls to be more precise, more exact, and play it in a way that is very similar in the spirit of what the original Nintendo DS release was. It's an exciting game that really makes you think on your feet to try and solve these puzzles, to possess these different objects, to move your way around the level to save the day, basically. It's a brilliant concept, it is wonderfully executed, and I am so stoked that it is now on the Nintendo Switch because it is legit so much fun to play. Y'all are gonna get sick of me talking about this game, but I need, once again, to talk about the brilliance that is Anilin, because this game is legit so good. I love single-screen arcade games. I've talked about this on an eShop Hidden Gems and my single-screen arcade game video from a couple of weeks ago, but I am telling you, without hesitation, this game is so addictive. The gameplay is fast and frantic, and it's something where you want to keep improving your time every time you play it. You want to get the best score possible on each level. You want to get that perfect score to unlock more costumes, more characters. It is absolutely brilliant, and some of the best fun I have had on the console, in both handheld and on a television. The game just controls brilliantly well. For something that is so reliant on twitchy behavior and controls, it does a remarkably good job of utilizing the Joy-Cons and not needing to be played on a Pro Controller. Anilin is one of the best games I have played of 2023, and I go back to this game every single week. As a huge fighting game fan, the Nintendo Switch is sadly fairly bereft of excellent options. Now, I've shown you 10 great games in the past, and here's a link to that on the screen right now where you can check out 10 fantastic Switch fighting games, things like Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Blade Strangers, Mortal Kombat 11, amongst others. But this game here, BlazBlue Central Fiction, is something that I had never played before. I'd never experienced a BlazBlue game before, other than playing it kind of in passing back when I worked at a university down in Florida with my friend Rob. It's a really exciting fighting game, and holy crap does it run good on the Switch. This just looks amazing. The gameplay is fast and frantic, but so well balanced and so well designed that fans of fighting games are going to easily fall into it and understand how to play and pull off combos and enjoy the different character options that are in the game. This is a wonderful gateway into the BlazBlue universe. It is absolutely something any fighting game fan should pick up on the Switch.
Stand down or suffer.
While this one straddles the line between physical and digital because there is a physical version out there and I actually own it, I don't know that I've ever opened it because I have never once uninstalled the digital version of what was my game of the year for 2021 in Hades. This is one of my all-time favorite titles. Supergiant is a brilliant developer and they make some of the best games out there, but this happens to be the perfect example of what a great roguelike can be. By making the gameplay absolutely spectacular, they coupled it with amazing storylines, fantastic characterization, wonderful writing, challenging gameplay, beautiful visuals, and a soundtrack and voice acting that cannot be matched to make easily one of the best games of all time. I am eagerly anticipating the sequel, and I cannot wait to play it. But until then, I am satisfied going back constantly to the world of Hades, to the underworld, and trying to fight my way to find Persephone and find my freedom. I love my friends over at Premium Edition Games, and when they announced that they were releasing Rain on Your Parade physically, I was intrigued because it looked amazing. And what I expected to just be another Katamari Damacy clone ended up being so much more. Sure, you've got that kind of feel of a level where you're going through and you have to complete certain tasks, or fill up a certain thing with your rainwater, and it feels a little bit Katamari, but then things get wackadoo, which is what I really appreciate about it, because eventually you have to do things like play a first-person shooter Doom level, or go through a level inspired by The Office. It's a ridiculous, extra crazy, insane title that is just incredible. When I got it in at the start of the year, I did nothing but play this for about 3 weeks, and it's something I go back to every once in a while now because it just is a fun title that's so easy to pick up and play and put down and not worry about again for another week. Super addicted to this game, absolutely worth checking out. While I'm not someone that thinks Breath of the Wild is the single greatest experience you can have with Zelda, I was eagerly excited to play Tears of the Kingdom because I really think there was a lot of positives in the Breath of the Wild that could have been built upon for a sequel, and everything I've experienced thus far nets that out. Now, this is not a game for everybody. I want to stress that right away, because not everybody wants to build things. Not everybody wants to go and make kind of like a Minecraft experience almost, which is kind of what happens with Tears of the Kingdom. But there's a point to it, and not just mindless building. Like, you actually need to kind of think and utilize the objects around you to solve puzzles and to make your way through the world and to solve the different shrines and the different temples that you're going to be going through. I'm really enjoying this game, and I think there's a lot of improvements here that are apparent based on what we experienced with Breath of the Wild. The game feels more alive. It feels like a world that's lived in now, as opposed to a world that was so sparse that it just felt empty and almost kind of like a tech demo. I'm really enjoying Tears of the Kingdom. I think it offers a lot to the Zelda mythos, and there's a lot of stuff set up that I think is going to pay off in what is going to be the third game when it eventually releases. There you have it, my friends. 10 games on the Nintendo Switch that I am completely addicted to. Some old-timers on here that I've been playing for years, things like Hades and Carl, as well as some new arrivals like Tears of the Kingdom, Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection, as well as Ghost Trick Phantom Detective from Capcom. Let me know in the comments down below the Switch games you are addicted to and the things you have been playing nonstop. I would love to hear about them. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.